Hi, this is Shawnacy with the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy. I want to read you, this is one of my favorite quotes by Neil Gaiman. Life is sometimes hard. Things go wrong in life and in love and in business and in friendship and in health and in all the other ways that life can go wrong. And when things get tough, this is what you should do. Make good art. I'm serious. Husband runs off with a politician? Make good art. Leg crushed and then eaten by a mutated boa constrictor? Make good art. IRS on your trail? Make good art. Cat exploded? Make good art. Somebody on the internet thinks what you do is stupid or evil or it's all been done before? Make good art. Probably things will work out somehow and eventually time will take the sting away, but that doesn't matter. Do what only you do best. Make good art. So that's what we are working on. You know, the world throws you a curveball. We can sit and worry about it. We can be bored. We can get angry, or we can make some art. So if you don't have a journal, if you don't have already something more like this, which is like a, you know, an art book, a sketchbook or something, you don't have to have this. If you have any sort of old book or a notebook or a composition book, I like to use these books because then all of the things that I'm working on are right here. I don't have to like keep a bunch of canvases in a place. I don't need a lot of storage. It's just one little book. You probably can't tell from this, but these pages are thicker than a normal page. And so we're going to be taking the pages that we're going to use and gluing them together back to back to create a bit of a stronger page here. So that tends to, as you can see from these other books, it tends to like make them very big and fat. And so if we tried to do it on every page, our book would sort of explode. So, you know, every few pages, you're just going to tear some out. What we're going to do to get ready for this is to take some of this gel medium. If you do not have this, please don't feel like you can't do it. Get some glue. Get some good old Elmer's school glue. I'm just going to glue this page to the page behind it to kind of create that that stronger page that isn't, you know, some of these old books that can be kind of thin. We definitely don't want that. We want these pages to be nice and thick so they can sort of take all the things that we're going to be doing to them. Make sure you get those little corners and edges because those will peel up pretty easily. This is one of the uses that I have for my little gift card here, is to kind of smooth these pages together. Here we go, so that these two pages are now sort of just one page. I've glued those together. You're going to want to do the same thing on the other side here with this page. Also, if you notice if your book is particularly old or it doesn't seem very sturdy, you can take a piece of masking tape, sort of like press this down, and then take a piece of masking tape and just put it right up that middle like that before we do anything else. That way, your pages won't tear. Sometimes when you get going on this, you know, these old bindings, they can kind of rip. So just some masking tape right down the center will help that not happen. In general, we kind of want to build on top of what's already here. The fancy word for this is a palimpsest. So we have a layer of something that's already here. We have this book, and we're going to put more things on top of it. And so we sort of want to cover this up, but maybe not totally. Look through your page and see if there's any words that stand out to you. Sometimes words can be sort of an inspiration for what we want to put on this page. And if there are, you might want to circle them and not cover them up. That's up to you. I think in this page, didn't do a very good job of it, but I did that a little bit. So these were some lines that I enjoyed, and I wanted to save those so that I could build on top of that. So this one, I didn't necessarily want anything on here, but it's fun to be able to see the words underneath, right? So I'm just going to cover this one up with some gesso. Gesso is just white. You can use white paint. You definitely don't need gesso. You can use any color of paint that you have. This is just going to be sort of your base or your background. So one of the uses for these pages that you tore out earlier is to maybe put that right there so that you can go ahead and just paint right off that edge and not have to worry about that. Okay, so our page is prepped. We're going to wait for it to dry so that we can start to create on this page. So here it is. You can see, you can still sort of see the words through here. It makes a nice layer, but we have now sort of a smooth start to whatever we might want to make. The last thing I'm going to look at today before we call it quits is one more technique. This is great if you want to use it like this, just have a kind of a fresh, smooth palette to work on. If you're interested in creating a little bit of texture, one of the things you can do again is take one of these pages that you tore out and sort of press it in to your other page and then pull it up. And you'll see it creates a kind of an interesting texture there. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that too much in the camera, but there's sort of like a little bit of a texture. It's a little bit raised. It just kind of gives you some dimension there. So once this dries, and if you're impatient like me, you can grab your hair dryer and sort of like dry it quick. And then we can get started putting something else, being creative on this page. But I find for me that sometimes if I have a book like this that's already blank and ready to go, if I don't already know what I'm doing, I kind of just sit here and stare at this blank page and I get a little bit frustrated, or I kind of don't know what to do. Whereas if I have something like this and I'm already engaged in the process of creating by gluing this down and painting my background and figuring out what color I want the background to be and deciding if I want to have any texture with it or not, I'm already in, by the time I get here, I'm already in the process of creating. And it becomes a little bit easier to decide what to put there, or to feel like I can play around with it more and not feel so tied down to that blank page and the scariness of like, what if I mess it up, right? I'm already in the process of being messy. So that's where we're going to end today. And then we're going to look at some prompts of what we can do on this page.